Check. Yo. Yo. Oh, oh, oh. Hope that don't sound too bad. We're going to see. Because that nigga's voice is fucked up. Ooh. Fucked up.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
Welcome back to the Hold Down Podcast. It's me, your main man, the Unstoppable Bloodbath, back at it again with another episode. As you can see, it is just me. Quan was busy this past weekend during the Volume 10 event, so he has a reasonable excuse for missing this one, you know what I'm saying? So I told him I would watch it, I would recap it. That's going to be an episode, bro. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you back next week to be in full effect. So, just me this week, y'all. And we got a good bit to talk about. We got the whole Volume 10 to talk about, and then some other things that happened around the Volume 10 that I'm going to get to as well. So, first and foremost, thank you for tuning into the show. This is Hold On Podcast, where we talk hip hop and battle culture as a whole. Usually, the show is broken up into a couple different segments. You got your hip hop shenanigans, then you got your actual battle review, then you got your artist of the week. This week, since it's just me and I have such a specific thing to talk about, I'm not going to do the hip hop shenanigans because it's like, bro, it's just one thing I need to talk about. And yeah, that's really gonna be. I'm probably still gonna do artists of the week though. So, with that being said, this past weekend was Smack Volume 10, and then the day before that they did the women's volume. I didn't watch that because I couldn't watch it. I wasn't there in person. Then the day after that, they did Civil War 3, which I also didn't watch because I wasn't there in person. They only streamed one event, and that was Volume 10. I did watch that. So that's all I can really talk about right now. And I'm gonna talk about some things that happened around the other events. Cause I'd say this, the biggest, like the two big things happened, right? Tay Rock and Kid Slade battled, and apparently it was a lot going on. Tay Rock pulled out some paperwork. He tried to Adi boom this nigga. Basically saying that, you know what I'm saying, Kid Slade a snitch nigga. He ain't really about that for real. He be talking. And it led to some issues. There was a lot of bumping and tussling going on and shit. It was really the talk of the town, honestly. That's all niggas really want to talk about was Tay Rock and Kid Slade. So then Kid Slade made a video talking about how that paperwork is old and how really in that paperwork, all it says is that he went to court and said that he don't know them niggas. That was what he said. I watched the video. He was on 15 minutes and he dropped the whole video talking about, like, look, these niggas think they got some shit on me. Ain't nobody got no shit on me. Ain't no paperwork saying I told on shit. All that says is that I went to court because I had to go to court, and that they asked me about, do I know these niggas? And I was like, nah, I don't know none of these niggas, bro. I don't know nothing. So he said that's really his whole situation, and that niggas gonna have to stop playing with his name. That's what he said. So that was like the biggest thing to come out of that day, honestly, was Tay Rock and Kid Slade, because they had a lot going on. Other than that, it seems like it was a good event though. Civil War 3 seems like it was a successful event. I saw that New Jersey Twerk and Real Sick looked like they had a really good battle. So when that drops, I'm gonna watch it, obviously. Also, I need to start checking in more with the app battles, because like I watch them, but I don't review them, because I know that people who like listen to the show, they probably don't have the app. So if I'm recapping a battle that you can't even watch, it's like, when can you go and verify that if you like even agree with what we said? That's really my reasoning behind why we don't review too many app only things. Like I'll try to talk about stuff either right after the stream live for everybody to watch or after it hits YouTube. That's my logic. But if y'all think it's not gonna be a big deal if I start reviewing stuff that's only on the app, I'll do it, because there's a lot of stuff on the app, a lot of good battles that's like just not even up on YouTube. So If y'all think it's gonna work, let me know, cause I'll do it. I'll start running through the app stuff. Cause there's a lot of stuff that we ain't never talked about. A lot of good battles out there. So yeah, that was Civil War 3, the Kid Slade and Tay Rock situation. Besides that, the only other funny thing that happened was when the day before Volume 10, the women's Volume 10, Jazz the Rapper battled Shiest Raw. And the clip started making the rounds like the night of Shiest was apparently getting cooked by Jazz, which I mean that's not surprising. My nigga is Jazz. That's what she does. And I guess Shiest's leg was cramping up on her. She was having issues standing. So the clip, if you want to see around, is like Anwar throwing in the towel, like to end the battle, and then you just see Shiest. She up there shaking, bro. She up there. She could tell she got some issues going on. So then they brought the stool out and everything. She just went home and hadn't had a seat. Like the Screech was saying, she was already getting beat up in that battle anyway, so they might as well just end it. It wasn't much left to see there. I do you think more battles should just end if you know it's over with? Cause what Suge did to Chess a couple like was it like last month before? We knew it was a wrap. We knew it was a wrap. And Suge still did all his rounds like, bruh, you don't gotta do this. Like, we get it. That's why the crowd was already saying, leave him alone. Like, bro, we get it. I promise you we get it. Like, so should more battles just get stopped? Like, look, bro, like a mercy rule type situation. What y'all think? I don't think it's a terrible idea, especially in situations like this. But if you know a nigga already choking like first round, let's go on and shut this down, homie. You not coming back. Like, if anything, give him to the second. So if he choked the first, the other, like, so if they could be woman's battle. If that person pick it up in the second and the second is fire, let it go on to the third. But if they second ain't even good or they not getting it, go on and shut that shit down, dog. You wasting everybody's time. That's just my opinion. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. So yeah, that was the only everything worth mentioning that wasn't the volume 10 itself. So now we're gonna get into volume 10. Volume 10, the card that was advertised is not the card that we got. Okay, apparently it was a lot of different things going on about. So the card that was advertised for Volume 10 was supposed to be Souffleur Soul versus Foots, Veloso versus T-Top, Averb versus Suge, Rum Nitty versus Fonz, and Clips versus Calico. Two of these battles did not happen. We did not get Loso versus T-Top. Apparently, Loso had to get surgery, so he wouldn't able to make it no more. Rum Nitty and Fonz did not happen the day of. It happened later on. Apparently, it happened the next day because Rum Nitty was feeling sick the day of Volume 10. But I guess he was feeling fine the next day because they said he had like flu-like symptoms or something. So hopefully, well, I guess it all worked out. I'm gonna say hopefully. So I guess it all worked out. I haven't seen that battle yet because again, it wasn't streamed. So yeah, there was some replacement battles. There were some fill-ins, to still fill the card out. Look, these events already be long enough. If something ain't happening, bro, just end up just cut it and keep it moving. You don't gotta find no replacement as far as I'm concerned. It already take y'all 6 hours to do like 3 battles. So look, let's just go on and run with the truncated card, in my opinion. But maybe they feel like the people who paid to be there not getting their money's worth. I don't know. So we're gonna start. So Flair Soul versus Foots. I'm not familiar with these people. Screech was saying they're like some newer guys, which obviously if I don't know them. And they was on Final Exam. Final Exam was that card a little while ago where they had these guys versus some like bigger names. I need to go ahead and watch it because I was impressed by both of these people. Like they set the card off well. Foots, Foots had like Foots showed versatility because like Foots rounds his rounds would be different, right? So in the first round it was just going off really strong energy and punchlines. And in the second, he even switched his flow up like a faster flow to like show some range. And then in the third, it was just like a really strong ending. Like he was really consistent rounds. And then Soul did really good because he kept his punches and they hit. His only issue was some slumbles. Was some stumbles. He stumbled a little bit, but he got it back in the first. In the second, he had like he second was pretty much flawless, pretty much really strong punches. Like he didn't show as much versatility, but he showed that he has really good material. So I think it evened it out. Honestly, I couldn't call this one. It could go either way for me. Both of them showed that they deserve to be on this stage and that they deserve any type of competition you're gonna give them. They are two really strong up and comers. So Flair Soul and Foots was crazy. Like, damn. Like, oh, I even wrote down Foot's bars in the second. He said, "Shooting dice in Air Forces, I've been the one." Don't play with that man, bro. That was crazy. That shit was crazy. Uh, yeah. So I fucked with it. I fuck with it overall. I also like how in the second, Soul had a whole bunch of Bigfoot bars. I didn't get tired of them. It's just the way to go. If you're battling somebody named Foots, you gotta have a bunch of bars about Bigfoot and feet and stuff. It just made sense. Apparently, Foots is a first responder. I'm guessing because that's the only way this bar could make sense. The third, when Soul said had a first responder, the last one to say something, that bar had the room rocking. They set the tone, right? So I feel like, honestly, in my opinion, they was like the first battle, but they are definitely arguably battle of the night. Like, it's debatable to me on if they're battle of the night. It's only one other battle that comes close to this for being battle of the night, in my opinion. But I don't know how to call this one personally. I don't know how to call it. Nah, it's debatable. It's really good though. It's really good debatable, right? But yeah. Next was a fill-in battle. This was clearly last minute. You could tell because they were both stumbling a little bit, and it was like trying to get it together. So I'm not gonna hold that against them because it wasn't on the card. This was just they were asked to step up. Jerry West and Kid Chaos. Always like Jerry West. Honestly, we don't see him all the time, but I always like Jerry West's material. Kid Chaos also has great material. So this is a battle that I enjoyed this one. Um, they both had some slight stumbles here and there, but they had good material for the situation. Jerry even had a really good 2K scheme in the third. I really enjoyed that. Ken Chaos, he had some good rounds. I really enjoyed his rounds. He was even a little witty, funnier than usual. And then Jerry West even had like a slight assist from the crowd. That was in the second. That was funny. That was really funny. Overall, there's not much to say about this battle because even their rounds are shorter. Like, look, bro, we just up here making the most of a situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have the full prep time. And I think it's a good battle. I liked it. Right? It's like I appreciated this feeling battle because people I like. Don't do it again though. Don't have any nobody feeling because I'm gonna complain. So next, they had another fill-in battle. This one apparently wasn't like a fill-in. It was just that it was supposed to happen earlier in the year, but it didn't. So they was like, all right, we're gonna do it tonight then, since they should already be prepared. KCJ and Arsenal did a light work battle. If you're not familiar with light work battles, those are 90-second rounds. So like it's get in, get out. It's usually no crowd. But because there was already a crowd here, they had to adapt to a slightly different way to do it. And like these rounds are actually timed and stuff, so they got to stop. This one, Casey started off really strong in her first. Really strong round from Casey in the first. And then Arsenal had a funny rebuttal, and then he just kept, you know what I'm saying, this Arsenal. Arsenal was actually rapping. He was actually rapping for a change. It wasn't just disrespect. The smell test line in the first was hilarious. In the second, Casey, all them arsenic stuff, that was really good. That was really good. In the second, though, Arsenal started off strong, then he had a slight stumble, and it continued into his third. So then Casey had a really strong third to end it. And then she waved the magic wand, and then this nigga Arsenal choked in the third. I don't know what Casey be doing to people. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But she beat that man. She beat him. I know like some people gonna be like, oh, she got powers that don't count. I don't want to take away, bro. She's still a great rapper. I don't want to discredit her abilities as a rapper. But we also gonna big up her abilities as a wizard. Clearly, this nigga does mystic arts on people. Cause boy, ain't no way that whenever people battle her, all of a sudden they forget their lines. Casey be using roots on people. I'm confident that she is very well versed in witchcraft. Can't nobody this like can't nobody make me change my mind right now because this happens entirely too much. It's very odd. Ain't no such thing as coincidence. Like this happens too much. Casey, what you doing? Don't do it to me. I just want to know what you doing because it's it's weird. It's weird, but she's also a great rapper. I don't want to make it seem like her powers are the only thing making her win. Her bars are also great. So respect her bars, but also be afraid of her magic. I might need to like read some Hogwarts books or something. I don't know, but it's a good thing I don't battle because I would definitely lose. Next up, Averb versus Shotgun Suge. This is a battle I was not looking forward to. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Y'all already know how I feel about Averb, and he could just be talking about himself every battle. Shotgun Suge has been on a tear. He's been having a really strong year. Shotgun Suge has been having a great comeback. He's been in the zone. I'm fucking with him right now. I'm really liking his stuff. So apparently, this battle they had money on the line. It was a pre-made bet, and that this battle was going to be judged. So this battle, it was going to battle, and the next day they was going to announce the winner from the judges who was going to watch it and like deliberate and pick a winner. So at Civil War 3, a winner was supposed to be chosen. I just double checked. Apparently, Suge and Verb decided to split the money in the end, so there technically was no winner. I had to do my Googles to find out because again, Civil War 3 wasn't streamed, so I couldn't watch it. I'm talking about the battle though. Really great performances from both, even from Averb, a nigga who I usually don't say nice things about. He did really good. This was a strong Averb, like bro, he was actually rapping. He had 3 good rounds. It was a very, very, very close battle. But I think that I give it to Suge. Suge's energy and his second round alone, crazy. Like Suge, crazy. He said new body on the K like Chris Paul, crazy. It was like I think Suge's on a tear. I've been trying to tell y'all niggas watch out for Suge. I used to talk bad about Suge. I really did. But then this year, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Sometimes you just gotta respect a nigga. I liked his album that we reviewed. Go check out that review. And I'm liking his battles this year. Suge been killing niggas. Respect that man. He a legend for a reason. Averb, you also did really, really good. I'm proud of you, Averb. We got Averb like this more often, I would say nice things. I really would. Do this more often, Averb. Don't do that shit you like to do where you go out there and talk about how you vegan Verb and how you above everybody else. And you rap out yourself for 3 rounds. Niggas, you don't be saying shit. You was saying shit this time, bro. And that's what I like. Do this more often. Last but not least, the headline battle. We had Charlie Clips versus Calico. This battle's hard to call. Okay. It depends on what you like. Some people call it a Calico 30. Some people are leaning towards Clips, and some people are torn down the middle. So I'm going to tell you each perspective. Okay. Clips was freestyling a lot because apparently people kept talking, and not just like apparently like Clips like people talking to Rock. That's well known. Clips was saying niggas with Calico kept talking, and Calico himself was talking, so Clips kept having the freestyle rebuttals. He was getting really annoyed by it. So his rounds would just be a half of it, just be freestyle shit that some niggas would say was just thrown in there and don't really make sense. He was just saying stuff just to say stuff. It wasn't really as direct as Calico's 3 rounds about him. But Calico's rounds was mainly about Clips' dad. It was more of that your dad's a rat stuff. So it's like, was that really directed at him? I mean, Calico justified it in the third when he was like, If niggas think I ain't gonna talk about his daddy, they crazy. Cause all niggas did for years was talk about my daddy. So I see his justification for doing it, but I still be getting bored by it. Now if you're in the camp who thinks that Clips won, that means you're a fan, just a fan of his style. I'm somewhat in the middle. Okay, I always enjoy Clips rounds because I think he's one of the most well-rounded battle rappers to ever exist. Like he's easily top three. Like he's really like that, bro. And it just depends on the day and who he's battling against. Some niggas don't like his style. They be like, bro, he just be up there saying shit. But I don't care. I like it. I like this. I like this battle. Calico did better than I expected him to. Because Calico is one of them people where if he's into it, he into it. Like if Calico don't care about the battle, he not gonna try it. It's gonna be bullshit. But when he tries, he wanted the coldest in the game. And I feel like he was trying. I think Calico did really good. This was a better matchup than I thought it would be. It really was. I thought this was gonna be just a Clips 30. He was gonna walk in easily, make this nigga look silly and walk out. But I think that Calico made this interesting. He made this really interesting. I say it's a debatable battle. If anything, I would give Cal got the third easy. Uh, I probably the second's tricky because the second was a lot of freestyle rebuttals to people talking. So it's like, was that really his? Was that really Clips round or not? Because it was just a lot of extra shit thrown on. I don't know. That's why it's hard to call. So I guess I'm gonna give the second to Cal, but it's debatable to me. The first, I really enjoyed Clips first. I really enjoyed Clips first. Even though Cal had a pretty good X-Men scheme, I really enjoyed Clips first. So I guess you could say that I gave it to Cal 2-1, but the second's debatable. I really feel like I want to say Clips, but you know, people gonna disagree. That's what they like to do. But that was the whole card. I think it was still a successful card. Even with the cancellations and people having to fill in. The light work battle with KCJ and Arsenal was very entertaining, even though Arsenal choked. They had a whole celebration. They had a whole celebration. All the girls got together. They was talking shit. New Jazz, Casey. They was popping bottles. They was talking hella shit. It was very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. Only thing I didn't like about this card was how long the intermissions was, which I mean that's not something that's new. They always do that. But it was a good card. Go to close out the year. Looking forward to next year already. No update on Daylight and Lux because I guess that's not happening this year no more. You know, it was confirmed earlier in the year from I heard Lux say out his mouth, "Yeah, me and Daylight in December." That was months ago. We ain't heard shit since. Daylight been tweeting out like, "Oh yeah, me and Lux on Christmas Day." I don't know if we can believe that. I'm not believing that. So we don't know what's happening with that. I guess that's not happening no more. I guess that's not happening no more. So hey, it is what it is. But that's gonna do it for like the recap of the event. Next, we're gonna get into artist of the week. Since it's just me, you don't gotta. So usually I just give one artist, but since it's just me, I'm gonna give two artists. I'm gonna mix it up. Usually Quan does two artists because apparently he doesn't like to follow the simple rules that we have. So for my artists of the week, I don't know yet. Like I don't always know in advance who I'm gonna say because my ear be all over the place. But I have been listening to. Wait, who did I say last week? Didn't I say? Like I said, Joey Badass last week, and I have not been listening to his album as much, but I promise you I'm gonna return to it again. I got some shit to catch up on. I didn't listen to SZA yet. I also did not listen to that new Metro Boomin yet. I'm behind, y'all. Just because I work in a place that talks about music all day does not mean that I listen to everything that they talk about. I'm always behind on music. So I've listened to a lot of Young Boy. That's one of my artists of the week. Young Boy. That's one of my artists of the week. Shout out to the homie Young Boy. I'm always bumping some Young Boy throughout the week. Don't play with that man. Shout out to my dog Kentrail. And after that, I'm gonna see Pac Div. I was on the Pac Div bench. That's my rest of the week. NBA YoungBoy and Pac Div, or YoungBoy NBA and Pac Div. Because I was on the Pac Div bench the other day, y'all. It was such a great group. They was really supposed to be next up out of the West. Like the West had a really strong like wave. They had TDE, they had Casey Veggies, they had Dom Kennedy, they had Pac Div, they had like a really strong wave, and it's crazy that TDE is really the only ones that's like still standing that people like check for, you know? Damn. But that's gonna do it this week's episode, y'all. Thank you for tuning in and making it this far into the show. I really appreciate that for just sticking with me, even though it's just me. Hopefully you still entertained. So yeah, if you want to check in with me, my socials are all the same. Very easy guy to catch up with. Hit me up at not Bloodbath. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me, I talk back. But yeah, if you want to talk to the show address, you know what I'm saying? The show does have its own at Hold It Down Pod on everything. That's the TikTok, the YouTube, the IG is all the same. So yeah, thank you for tuning into the show. I really appreciate it. Like the video, leave a comment or two, say some nice things down there. I really appreciate that. But always remember to tell a friend, and tell a bitch to tell a hoe. Remember to stop and hold it down.